welcome back to the Cyclone Fanatic postgame show. I'm your host, Leah Nelson. We'll talk all things Iowa State and South Carolina basketball, but I have to remind everyone it is Thanksgiving. It's time to be thankful, and we are very thankful for our friends over at Channel Seed. They are our title sponsor for the men's and women's shows, and we are so excited to have them on the team. They're with us through the good times and the bad times all season long. So thanks to our friends at Channel Seed and our friends over at Fairway Meat Market. They have good quality meat, we all know. So make sure you grab some meat from Fairway for this weekend for the Iowa State football game. But yeah, thanks to our friends. We're thankful for everyone. Iowa State basketball, football, and I'm thankful for Chelsea. So Chelsea, come on in. We've got lots to talk about. Happy Thanksgiving, first of all.
Back at ya. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. That it was tough. It was a tough basketball game, but we knew South Carolina was going to come out fighting, being really tough. They just came off of a tough loss against UCLA. So, what are your initial vibes, thoughts, anything from this game?
Yeah, I mean, we all knew it was going to be a battle and that South Carolina was going to come in all fiery after losing to UC, whatever. I can't even speak right now after losing on Sunday. But I mean, Iowa State first half really tough. South Carolina played a great defense. They were aggressive. They were in the faces of Audie Crooks, and Addie Brown went scoreless this game. The second half, I was happy Iowa State started to kick it into gear and play the game that they know how to play. I think they came in with some grit where they could have laid down and just let the game go on, but they decided to step up and play the game that they know how to play. So was happy to see that.
1000%. Let's kind of break down the first half a little bit. Obviously, really tough. I think Iowa State had six turnovers in 7 minutes. Obviously, went scoreless for basically the whole half. And South Carolina went on a 19-0 run, not to, put salt in the wound. But, it seemed like the offense for Iowa State was really stagnant. And feel free to correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, but seemed like, Emily Ryan was dribbling the ball down, looking for Audie. Obviously, South Carolina has done their film. They've done their research, and they know that they're going to try to stop that. So what could have Iowa State done before the, second half to kind of make adjustments and kind of get the game rolling a little sooner?
I think South Carolina knew that Iowa State was going to look for, obviously, Audie Crooks down low, and that's been the main flow of the offense in the past few games. And so, as you can see, they shut it down. They pushed Audie out of position. Iowa State wasn't making shots. None of the threes were falling. A lot of it was forced up shots, end of clock shots. So they weren't good quality shots. But also, South Carolina was playing amazing defense.
Right.
It was lockdown defense. They were doubling Audie down low. And so, I mean, after the first half, I was like, I hope somebody else steps up. And outside of Emily, outside of Addie Brown, obviously Addie was getting shut down. Mm-hmm. And then you see Kenzie Hare step up. So it was really cool to see Kenzie step up the way she did in this game, because even Lily Lele, when she came in, she added a little bit of spark, a fire, a different rhythm to the game than how they were playing before she came into the game. So it's cool to see little sparks like that from players that are stepping up in these type of high pressure games.
I agree. And do you think that, playing South Carolina added a little pressure to how Iowa State started that game?
Yeah. I mean, you're coming into a game with a number one team.
Right.
But that they're going to come in and they're they have tremendous athletes, all of them. Like you said, you look at the score sheet today, there were so many players that scored. It wasn't just a one-man effort. There was points all around, turnover, rebounds all around. Let's see what we got. We got, Pow with 7, mm-hmm. Fagan with 13. Kits didn't even play that much. Kits had 14 minutes before she came in, but 15 minutes, my bad. But it was just a well-rounded effort by South Carolina. So yeah.
From your perspective or experience, I don't know if you've ever been in a game like that. But how do you, as a player, stay motivated, stay determined, and, continue to play the game and finish it?
I think you saw it from Iowa State in that second half. They're like, well, we got our asses handed to us in this first half.
Right.
And in the second half, they're just like, we have nothing to lose. We can start playing in rhythm. We've calmed down. And like you can just start playing the way that you know you're able to play. And I think that's what you saw with Iowa State in that second half. They had a better effort, they had better energy, they were playing a little more calm and not just like making forced shots, forced passes into Audie, who's not open, and getting all those turnovers. Because you saw what South Carolina had 30 points off of turnovers.
Yeah.
Like, that's huge. Like, if you don't have those, then you might still be in the game.
So, what can Iowa State take from like a game like this for the future? Because obviously, like we've seen a little bit of a struggle. Iowa State playing against Drake and UNI. I felt like those games were way closer than they should have been, and then obviously with this game with South Carolina. So what can they change or take from this game moving forward?
I think it's kind of hand in hand with those previous games, like rebounding, offensive boards. Iowa State, let's see, how many offensive boards did uh, South Carolina have? Was it 13? I guess that's actually pretty good because they usually average 18. But like for the first half, they were rebounding out of the water, and Iowa State could have done a better job of that. But also, I think just like learning to use other players, having other players building that confidence, like Kenzie Hare, stepping up, Lily. I think those other players. I think that's what you're going to take from this game is that other players are going to have to step up when Big 12 conference comes to play because everybody's good at that time.
1000%. And obviously, you mentioned like other players that we don't normally talk about stepping up, but were there any other positives that you saw throughout this game? We're trying to be positive here on Thanksgiving and
Gotta be thankful.
gotta be thankful. So, what can like the fans and, the team take away from a tough game like this?
I think it just shows grit. Like, I think it shows character that they didn't just lay down and die for the rest of the game, that they actually showed up as a different team that second half. And I think it proves that they're capable, like, even with Crooks not scoring much in that first half, but still ending up with 13 points. Like, I know she's been averaging about like I don't know, 20 something points, and Addie's been having more points, but like just the fact that they can show up after having such a rough half, I think it's gonna set the pace for the rest of the games. They're gonna come into the next game with a lot of grit, knowing that they can prove that they're better than what they showed today, and it's on nothing but good things ahead.
At, so, if you're a player that came from, this game, what are you doing in the next couple of days to prepare for the next game? Are you shoving this game, in the back of your mind, or are you going back watching film trying to figure out what you can do to be better?
I think it's a mix. I
Yeah.
mean, you can look at this game. It's you're playing against an amazing team. You can take the things that you know that you did wrong, or things that you know you could have done better. But you got to have a memory of a goldfish as you go into like the next game. Like you can't dwell on this. This isn't end all be all. Like you just got to prepare for the next game and show up as your best self.
I think there's a lot of things that we can take from this game. Like it's exciting to see other people get playing time, step up. Like you said, it can't always be Audie, Addie, Emily. Like everyone's got to play, and sometimes you need these games to like be able to do that, to get people off the bench, to get people confident, even though it's tough to do against South Carolina. But I think everyone also needs to remember this is South Carolina basketball. They've been like legendary forever. We kind of talked about
Yeah.
this on the men's side with Auburn. Like, yes, it stinks to like blow a lead on the Auburn's like on the men's side and lose, but like Auburn's a great team, just like South Carolina is a great team. So I think
Yeah.
everyone needs to remember like it's okay. It's early on in the season. They have a
Yeah. Was
lot
there
to work
anything
on.
that stood out for you?
I think like for me, it didn't seem like people were getting frustrated. Like I just am such a big fan of Audie, and like she is just like getting beat up down there. Obviously everyone knows she's like one of the best players. So they're gonna double team. They're gonna work so she doesn't get the ball to score. But like she's just a positive light. And same with Emily Ryan. Like she's the most like captain-esque, if that's even a word. Like
Composed, just
I would want like Emily Ryan on my team if like I could choose, because she is just calm, cool, and collected. Like the worst things could happen to her, and she's just like, all right, guys, let's bring it in. Like we got this. So positive. And I don't know what they're saying under their breath, but like their body language outside looking in, like they just seem like really positive, and like it would be really easy for like a team to be down by that much to just like roll over and give up. But like you said, they really came out the second half and they were really positive.
yeah, I think it's a good group of level-headed like athletes and players, and I think Emily Ryan just kind of sets the tone for it too. Like she's just unfazed by what's going on, even like her slipping and stuff.
Right.
But even like everybody else, like you talk to them and they're very mature, like they're very level-headed. They understand the game and they understand what's going on with their team and how to talk to their team for it to be most effective in the long run. So I mean, I think it's a really good group for the Cyclones, and it's only going to get better.
If you're Coach Finley, what do you say to the group after a loss like this? Because obviously their heads are probably hanging a little bit. So how do you keep the girls positive, for this long season?
Honestly, I think what I said is kind of in line with what you would
Yeah.
say, was just like you guys didn't just lay down the second half.
Right.
Like obviously you guys should be embarrassed about the first half. Like you didn't show up the way you're capable of doing it. And I think he would say the same. Like it's South Carolina. Like you're
Mhm.
playing against a tremendous team.
Literally.
And you can only take good things away. Like I don't think he came into the game thinking like we're absolutely gonna smash South
Right.
Carolina.
Right.
Like yeah,
You
like
can't say that.
yeah, like you said, it's like it's good for the program. It's good to highlight the school, Iowa State, getting the exposure in games like that. And I think he's only going to take positive things and tell them to take positive things from the game.
I agree. I love Coach Finley from the times that like I've chatted with him. He's just such a positive, force. And I know they'll get better after this game, and they have a lot they can work on, a lot of things that can be changed, and those girls seem like they're all going to get right back in the gym and fix things. Like they won't forget about this, but they're not going to let it like,
Mhm.
encompass their whole mindset, and it'll be good. We're excited for the rest of the season, and it's tough. It's a tough game. And I'm sorry that this was the first game that you kind of had to talk
Yeah,
about.
you're like, come on through.
Woo. And I was thinking this too. Like I was giggling because Chris made a comment like, Leah, you've had it so easy getting to do like, football with like their best season, and
Oh
now like,
yeah.
and then it's like, all right, well, we've got to have a tough basketball game here or there. So it'll be good. But thanks for all your input. And I don't want to keep you too long because obviously it's Thanksgiving. And sorry if you guys could hear a bunch of things in the background. My
You have
parents
your family over.
family getting rowdy up. I think they're playing games or something. They're getting rowdy. My uncle and aunt were on the stairs listening to me. So sorry if I was like, oh, what's
No,
going
you're good.
on?
I was like, I figured it was kids running rampant.
Yeah. No, just my parents and uncle and aunt, brother. But yeah, thanks so much. And we'll be back the next game. I don't know what the next game we're gonna be doing. So everyone tune in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for cheering on the Cyclones during Thanksgiving. And you can catch me and Chris on the football pregame, halftime, and postgame on Saturday. So happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And thanks to our sponsors.